Edward Horwath led all scores with 13 for Hudson. Final scores again was the Clinton Redskins 52, the Hudson Tigers 38. From Hudson, I'm John Kane reporting.
You know, those two could meet up next week.
Sure could.
Possibly.
That was my lock of the weekend yesterday. Clinton to win.
You didn't lock your Spartans in, huh?
No. I did not. Other boys' scores. Blissfield wraps up the LCAA. They get the regular season championship. Blissfield 61 to Ida's 41. Madison, good one with BD, 59-52. Trojans win. Sand Creek, even closer. Yes.
I was trying to interject, actually. Coach Thompson sent some scores from that, so I was going to chime in.
For Blissfield?
No, for the
or Madison.
Madison. So
all right, let's hear them.
I know, trying.
Awesome. You can just butt right in. That's fine.
Burciaga had 23 on the night. Also had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. What do we got? Ashford, Jaden Ashford, 14, and good night there, along with 9 rebounds. So there's your 2 leading scorers. There you
Final for Madison, 59, Britton Deerfield, 52. Like I said, even closer for Sand Creek and Morenci. The Creek, 57, Morenci, 52. Onstead Besting Hillsdale, 58-51. Those are the Lenawee County scores. For the girls, Madison continues to win, 44-36. Do we have the girls for Madison, or no?
No, I was checking. Sometimes Coach Maska sends me stuff for the boys, but I didn't have a chance to check that, and he didn't. So
okay,
we're good to go.
Clinton 50, Morenci 44, Napoleon over Addison 52-16, and it was Dexter over Jackson 56-35. Will Adrian College women's hockey keep the Slats Cup trophy, or will they have to turn it over to St. Scholastica after AC has had it for 6 straight years? Here's their coach, Sean Skelly. He has every intention of bringing it back to Adrian.
I like how you said we're going to take the trophy on the bus with us, and we intend to bring it home.
Yeah, she'll be strapped in. We'll throw the seatbelt around her, and hopefully we bring that trophy back home Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, whenever we get back.
Good. Take good care of her.
Yeah, we will. We'll keep her polished up.
And now the captain, Brooke Shembry, knows the competition, and she can't wait for the game.
We had a pretty good battle with them my freshman and sophomore year. I think we saw them in the Slats Cup here. We went into like a mini game, a couple overtimes, and I know Abby ended up getting like an assist a couple years ago on the game-winning goal. So I know that's always in the back of my head playing St. Scholastica. They're a pretty good team, so we haven't seen them recently. I know they have a pretty good couple first lines, and then their goalie is strong and big, but she hasn't really been tested this year. They haven't been playing the best competition, so we're looking to pepper her with some shots when we get there.
I can see the smile on your face.
Yeah.
No, you can't wait, can you?
No, I'm just so excited. I'm so proud of this team for making it this far, and we really came together so far at the end.
And that was the captain, Brooke Shembry.
Just do it!
That scared me. Game 1 tonight in Duluth. An 11-hour bus ride for the Bulldogs. So
Luckily, they split that up in 2.
2 11-hour bus rides?
No, they split the 11 hours up in 2. It will be. Why?
Yeah.
You want us to go straight 11 hours?
Sure.
No, they were
The
gonna...
bus driver probably is thankful, but you haven't been on 11-hour rides? Just get there? Like if you're going south?
No, they stopped so they could chill and then have like a nice little 4-hour ride.
Okay.
So.
Look, yeah, it's up to coach, but
Yes.
I mean, can't you just, I don't know. I feel like you could just sleep for part of that.
Then you're just dead legs and stuff. They just.
But you could leave the same day, but just get there earlier. Anyway.
So are you questioning, Sean? It's,
A little bit. A little bit.
You suck!
Well, he knows better than I do.
That's
He
right.
knows better than I do. So, Siena Heights football, they're feeling confident coming off their first win, a major improvement from last week on offense. Here is Saints coach, Matt Cohn.
Yeah, we've got some guys in the offensive line that have really improved, so far in our first 3 games. Our center, Jeff Edwards, this will be his third college football game, or just finished his third college football game. He's shown just dramatic improvement from week 1 to where we are right now. Our right tackle, David Robinson, started, this will be his 4th football game coming up. He's shown just huge improvement from week 1 to week 4. So 2 guys in our offensive line, arguably the most important position on the field, that have really shown some huge improvement, and we look forward to that to continue here in week 4.
And that was Siena Heights coach Matt Cohn. Saints and Madonna tomorrow, noon, home, 965 The Cave. How'd you like that for a sentence?
There you
Quality
go.
stuff. What I
Quality.
get paid for. Adrian College Football, they kick off their season tomorrow afternoon at Alma. Coach Jim Deere tells WLEN Sports how he looks at this very short 5-game schedule.
It's a 5-game sprint for a league championship, and that's what we're playing for. The one thing I've mentioned to a lot of people is there's a big difference between what we did in the fall and what we plan on doing in the spring. And there's a lot more urgency with our team preparing in the spring than in the fall. In the fall, we were just glad to be playing football. In the spring, there's much more of a purpose, and it's shown on the field. A lot of intensity, a lot of anger, a lot of violence. It's one of those things where you try to control it, but you don't want to take it away.
Right. That's right. Controlled violence.
Amen.
Adrian College Football, Saturday, 1 o'clock, 103.9 WLEN, WLEN.com. I will be there with Jay Hanna for the game. I will tell you, they will take 1 day to get there. Just 1 bus ride up to Alma. He's not going to split it up.
It's a tad closer than
Duluth?
Duluth.
A little bit.
It would split that
Depends
right
what
up
way you
to
take,
Alma.
I guess. Yeah.
I was trying to think, what's a halfway point?
Stop
actually?
in Lansing or something.
It's probably
It's a
even-
2-hour ride,
It's
so.
further than Lansing's further than halfway, so
Jackson?
probably
Just north of Jackson?
just north of Jackson somewhere.
It'd be hilarious.
Go stop,
Like, why? Can't you just go there? No.
pitch in a
Gotta
town.
split it up.
Gotta split it up.
Siena Heights women's assistant basketball coach Sarah Trenko was named the WAC Assistant Coach of the Year for the NAIA. Congratulations to her. Sue Siljerbeck, the head coach, said, quote, "Her commitment and passion for Siena Heights University and the women's basketball team knows no bounds. Without her years of dedication and work, our program would not be where it is today. I can't think of anyone who deserves this honor more than her."
No, that's a great honor there.
Yeah.
And she does a ton of work, because you got to look at, Sue does so many things right now too, with being the AD, that you have to have a good assistant to be able to take care of a lot of things. So good for Sarah. One quick thing for high school sports still. Freshman Zach Kemmerer from Adrian High qualified for the MHSA D3 states at regionals with an 11 dive score of 261.85. So congrats to him, as he qualified for the states last night. So
Awesome.
yes.
We have some NCAA tournament news. Michigan, top seed in the East. They start their tournament run Saturday against 16th seed Texas Southern. Tip off at 3 p.m. on CBS. If they win, they'll take on the Bonnies, Bonaventure, or the Tigers of LSU.
The bunnies?
The Bunnies. The Bonnie Bunnies.
They're not bunnies. They don't have.
I don't know. Tigers versus Bunnies. I don't know. Tigers are pretty vicious. Oh, well,
So are bunnies.
especially in Monty Python, right?
There you go.
It was one and done for Michigan State. Hey, did you hear about this?
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, so UCLA forcing overtime. Jamie Jaquez, is that how they were saying his name last night? I mean, they wouldn't stop saying his name because he would not miss. He put up
Jaime.
Jaime?
Yeah.
He put up a ton of points.
He was the best player on the floor last
Yeah,
night.
it didn't matter who guarded him.
Tom could have yelled at him
What
and
they
it
did.
wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah. He should have went out there and pulled his jersey.
Should have.
So they pull away in overtime. UCLA does. They beat Michigan State 86-80. So if you had the over, you were in good shape. So Michigan State continues to struggle in Mackey Arena. They kept talking about that. It was their 6th straight loss in that building. The other 5, to Purdue. Aaron Henry of Michigan State with 18 points, 5 boards, 7 assists. UCLA will take on 6th-seeded BYU.
So tough at the end. We'll talk more about that with little.
Yeah, a
Issues.
little emotion, a little analysis, a little calm-headed analysis about
Well,
that.
just talking about how it got to the OT and things like that. Just no boxing out.
Yeah, a couple
miscommunication.
things that did not go well. What did go well was Robbie Fabry. He scored all 3 goals for Detroit, 1 in each period, so he spread the love. The Red Wings beat the Dallas Stars 3-2 on Thursday night. Central Division's last place team, Detroit, they've won 2 straight, 3 out of 4. The Stars are slumping. The Wings did have a setback, losing goaltender Jonathan Bernier to an injury late in the second period after he stopped all 23. So we hope Bernier is fine for the Red Wings, but they get a win on the ice. That's all I have for the sports update. We'll do it again at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Oh, there's a couple new drops. Let's see if you can find them. We played the bowling one yesterday,
I did hear
which is
that.
a lot of fun.
So there's that.
We assume it's all 10 pins.
Oh, I would think so.
And there's another one. Let's see if you can find it.
Is it in the same stack
It
of
is,
the bowling stack?
Yep,
Well,
it's at the bottom of the page.
it's not that.
No.
Oh,
Oh.
265 4000.
517 is the area code.
There you go.
That's a long 7 seconds.
I know. It's worth it.
Is
Whatever
it?
we say is worth a full 7-second applause. So get used to that on the show. If we say something cool or fun or
See, we'll start it with that.
okay.
Say what we need to say, and finish it with that.
Yeah, there you go.
See?
Nice little formula.
Mm-hmm. But we won't do that. There's no
For
applauding.
one final time until the football season. Well, we'll play it when Amani Bates officially signs with Michigan State. I'll be sure to play it on that day. Well,
So I guess we're never playing it then.
so to summarize last night, I could not believe what I was watching. The entire game.
Which game
even
was
the
that?
beginning.
Which game are you talking about?
Michigan State, UCLA.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to be clear.
Yeah. I
Because
could
there were 4 games last night.
Oh, they were
at
all
least,
awesome.
And then there were some NIT games as well.
Yeah, I didn't watch those.
Okay.
They were, I could not believe what I was watching. State came out and played an awesome game.
I was laughing because Pat was saying how UCLA was going to blow them out
Yeah.
yesterday. So I was sitting there watching that going, yeah, Pat, you were totally wrong about this one.
So, they're pulling away. They're facilitating things. Bingham's playing well. Aaron
Yes.
Henry, like he wouldn't miss. Rocket Watts was facilitating. Langford was doing his thing.
Hauser.
Hauser made a bucket or two. I'm like, yes, this is the team. And then it continued. I could not believe what I was watching. What happened?
Well,
What happened? Now I get that
that's what happened.
you get a hot shooter. Okay. His 30 points are not going to beat you. Right?
No,
I mean,
shouldn't.
I couldn't believe it. I was watching turnovers. I was wondering, where's Marcus Bingham? Why is this kid not logging like 20 minutes of this game?
Right.
To be honest, halfway through, I was thinking, what are my topics going to be tomorrow? Of the three, if I were to pick three things that were the difference in Michigan State's win, it was Marcus Bingham. He was blocking shots.
Yeah, he was
active on defense. He was scoring the bucket. He was scoring the basketball. He was awesome.
Getting fouled, going to the line.
Making some free throws. Where was he? What happened? Why was he on the bench in big moments? Why is Rocket Watts shooting threes? He should take maybe 2 a game. Honest to God. If I were to pull someone's jersey, it would have been Rocket Watts. I like the play of the freshman, Hogard.
Yes.
I thought he was a much better point guard than Rocket Watts. Sure, Rocket's explosive. And if he could shoot from the edge, the perimeter, he would be a 2 guard. But he can't. So he has to be the point guard to facilitate or to drive. He couldn't drive. I'm going to give UCLA big time credit on this. State they drive and kick. That's all they do.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let him. State had to go work it around, get it inside. And it was working. But they couldn't do their normal offense. They couldn't drive, kick, work it around, shoot.
No, UCLA had no interior presence at all.
No, but it was working. State got taken out of their element early, and they coached around it. They had an 11-point lead at half. And then it continued. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
Yeah, I mean, they were up by 14. They had that game in hand.
Yes. It was like a replay of that Purdue game. They're up big. And then in a blink of an eye, it's tied.
Just like that.
Yeah. The one moment I got upset at my TV.
The one moment?
Yes.
Only one?
Because I was sitting there in disbelief the other times. I just couldn't believe what was going on. That kid for UCLA just not missing.
Jaime.
Yeah.
I'm picking up your sarcasm.
Well, I should hope so, because I'm laying it on you pretty thick.
Oh, you're not being sarcastic. You're being real.
I'm actually being serious.
I know.
It got to a point where I'm like, if this kid touches it and shoots it, it's going in. And there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing Joey Hauser can do about it. There's nothing Rocket Watts can do about it. It's going in. That shot to get them within 3 or to tie the game.
The drive down inside.
And he falls down and just hucks it up with his left hand. I was like, yeah, sure, that's going to go in.
That was a heck of a take. I mean, that was nice for him.
Yeah. That's like a 2% chance of making it. And, of course, last night it goes in.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets fouled, and he makes the shot. So, getting back to the leads going away. You're up 14. UCLA comes out hot in the second half. State's they're building houses with all their bricks. MSU is. And then I see the lead go from 10 down to 6, down to 4, and then it's 2. And I was like, Tom,
where's your timeout?
Why are we not calling a timeout? Why will you not call a timeout until the last minute of the half? Why?
I know, I was thinking the same thing too.
You can use the timeout to stop a run,
mm-hmm.
which is what needed to happen. That's the one thing I'm really critical of Tom Izzo about. He's grabbed jerseys before. Come on.
I know, the biggest thing last night was, first of all, and I know we were up against it, but your season's not as good as it has been. You're kind of being an angry individual a lot of times. He never looks like he has a smile on his face. He wants to cry, it seems like, every time I see him. Like he's in pain, like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
Yeah.
And you were the highlight event of the night. Everybody's eyes were on you. And it happened right before the half, so they could break it down during halftime. You could be...
They didn't talk about the game at all.
No, they talked about it
at all.
No. So that's the other tough part about it is the timing of those optics were even worse than maybe the optics, because when it happened was like, oh, everybody now is seeing what's going on. And the only thing that I know a lot of people are thinking about right now is this a Bobby Knight scenario? Is it getting to end of his career? Is he getting to be that old crotchety guy and that's all he's going to do is yell at people? That's the visual that's getting out there right now.
He's yelled at people his whole career.
I know, but I'm just saying, is it's but now there's a lot more cameras on, and then there's more with social media, so there's a lot more to it than it used to be, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm putting no stock in that.
I know, but you're a Spartan.
Remember when he did it to Draymond Green, and oh my God, he touched Draymond Green. Yeah. High school coaches never grab a kid by their jersey.
And Draymond was the first one last night to tweet it out, said
Yeah.
it was okay.
It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It is, but I'm not worried about that. I feel like he's done something like that to Gabe Brown before. Like he just
2
ripped
years
right
ago, he
into
just
him. Was it
ripped
in the tournament?
Was it Gabe then?
I think it was him. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
But that kind of came back to me. It's like, okay, I think this happened before. But dude,
Well, the one thing about them is it always does seem to be that way, because Tom does. If he's in your face, guys will get back to him and then it's like stops. You know what I mean? He's got
Yeah.
that like, okay, if I'm yelling at you, give it back to me for a minute, but we're okay with it, and that's how they deal with it. And so a lot of people don't see that, and a lot of schools can't take that, and it does look a little disrespectful. But if that's how it works for them, then that's how it works. So.
yeah, and to come out of the second half the way they did, and Tom, don't wait till the media timeout.
Right.
Please, this 14-point lead is gone. Call a timeout when it's 7. See what's happening.
Yeah.
Be engaged. Don't wait till the end of the game for your timeouts. That's when you call it.
That's right. All right, we gotta take this break.
We continue this conversation.
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
We do have some NCAA bracket stuff we need to talk about as well.
Sounds like fun. I can't wait.
When trades are made, when records are broken, when championships lay in the
Okay. Ready? Keep going on your rant, Mr. Spartan.
Well, that was a horrible way to intro the show. What if someone's just tuning in?
All right, welcome back to Inside the Cave. Jeff Bowman, Ian Went here on 96.5 The Cave, 965thecave.com.
We're professionals here, Jeff. We can't just...
The first segment we ended on Michigan State talk, in case you're just tuning in.
There you go.
And Ian
People
Went.
that wake up at 8:30, you know.
Ian over there on the other side of the glass is, well.
We're going. You know, we're talking
He's
about
a
it.
Sparty. And,
Right, well, when your team loses, we'll talk about it then. But my team lost last night. A game they should have won.
This is what I was saying at the end of the night.
Go away, let me sleep for the love of God!
Correct. I mean, how much more West Coast bias can that be? We're going to start the game at 10 o'clock, 10:30 actually. They told everyone 10, but it was actually 10:30 when it started.
10:19 tip, wasn't it?
Oh, sorry. My bad. Sorry.
Well,
TNT or whoever had it.
Because you had to push it because the other games and stuff.
So, 6:20 West Coast time.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole game they're showing the coach's, UCLA coach's dad, which you can do a couple times, but it was like every basket UCLA made, pan up to his dad, pan up to Sister Jean part 2, pull at your heartstrings, his dad, coach, I get it, you know, legendary guy, they loved him, you can get him some airtime, but it was getting to be too much. And maybe that's the difference between if your team is winning and if your team is losing. If Michigan State were winning, do you think they would show Tom Izzo's wife, Tom Izzo's family, panning on his son on the sideline? I don't know. It was just, I was kind of hoping that the way the game was going in the second half that UCLA would win at the buzzer. They almost did. I was like, that would be a great way to end it. Lose on a half-court three-pointer.
Mm-hmm.
And just go. Because they were not winning that thing in overtime. You had no momentum.
No.
None. You were grasping at nothing. Nothing.
Nothing.
At that point.
Nope.
You know, the shot at the end for Aaron Henry, it gets tipped, but his hand on the follow-through stays on the ball. So we don't even get it again with 3 seconds left. Rocket Watts throwing up air balls. Kicking the ball out of bounds.
Not boxing out at the end.
Not boxing out at the
possession.
end. Where's Marcus Bingham? Why was he on the bench? I mean, where was Hauser in the second half?
Oh, he took a really bad three from the corner once when he was wide open. And
then that was it.
Run. Yeah, he was.
Gabe Brown didn't play a ton in the second half. Like, they were rotating like 10 guys at the beginning. You're on it with those hotkeys today. That's perfect. It was a second half circus.
It was.
And, I'll give credit to UCLA, but all they had to do was pull the trigger because State had the gun aimed right at their foot. They did everything but pull the trigger, and UCLA said, you know what, you don't want this game? We'll take it. They were like dangling that dollar.
Well, I figured they traveled all that way. They might as well stay for more than, just a couple of days.
Yeah, the State has been there for a week.
They've overstayed their welcome.
Yeah, like, you know what, I'm sick of hotel food.
Right.
Get me out of here.
Get me out of here.
But, my God, that was brutal.
It was bad. I mean, it was really...
It was awesome, and then it was... Like I said, I couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't believe how well they played, and then I couldn't believe...
We got a caller. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Is this Pat?
I'm not sure. This caller. Hey, this is Jeff and Ian. How are you?
Jeff, how you doing today?
Good, Ralphie.
Oh my God, man. You gotta stop the race. It was a good thing here. They hit the wall. Game's over. Done.
Well, I don't have to be done with it.
Well,
I'll be done after today.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'll be honest with you. I think that you could win this game. And I thought, you know, they were coming out on fire, and they did. But they hit that wall because, you know, I mean, let's face it, I mean, it was a different year. They had, you know, like in the middle of the run, I mean, they didn't practice because they had players tired. They had players that couldn't move on their own base, you know, because they were so sore. So I thought it was going to be a benefit by them losing the first round of the playoffs.
Sure.
The tournament, and they were going to come out on fire. And like I said, they did, but they just hit that wall, and I couldn't. I didn't watch the game. I listened to it on the radio, and I turned it off when they were coming back. And you know, I mean, it was a good year, but I wish, because I picked them to beat BYU, you know, but.
Yeah, I did too, and it was, you know, like I said, I couldn't believe it. You know, that wasn't a typical Michigan State thing to do. Like a 14-point lead was gone in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. Well, you know, like I said, it wasn't a typical year. I mean, any Michigan State team in the past would have beat UCLA, but you know, so you know, it was a good year for us, and like I said, I'm gonna root for them next year when they make the tournament again. So.
That's right, and I will too, and I'll be critical of them today. And we're going to move on. We still have Michigan in the tournament to represent the state. So
That's right.
Yeah. So, well, you know, I want to let you know I did answer your guys' challenge.
Okay.
My Air Biscuits.
Air Biscuits. All right. Well, good. Actually, we're going to talk about that next. So thank you for bringing that up, Ralph.
All right. You guys have a good one, all right?
All right, you too.
All right.
Thanks for calling in.
Okay. Yep.
Yep. So another.
it's my job to go on.
Well, he's
tangents
he's
and
another
rants,
Spartan trying to talk you down from the ledge. You gotta like that. One Spartan helping the other.
Yeah, you got to help each other out.
Yes. But he did.
It's emotion. That's part of this job.
I know. He's talking about brackets, and we need to mention it. 965thecave.com. Go online, click on the contest button, and you can sign up and challenge. You can see how your brackets go against ours, for one thing. But also, if you get every single game right, you can win $1 million.
Yeah, it's a cool challenge.
And there's some local prizes too that we're giving away. Firekeepers gift card there. We got a couple things from ZZ's and Illinois Rec. So check that out as well. And the cool thing about it is, if you don't get in today, there's actually an opt-in again at your Sweet 16 and Final Four. So there's kind of that you get 9 lives out of this one, so you can come back and try to do more. But I filled mine out yesterday, so
yeah, like you said, it's 965thecave.com on the website. I pinned the link to the top of our Facebook page. I can't scroll through Twitter far enough back to find it, but easy enough to go to Facebook, find it there, or just go to the website 965thecave.com. Who do you talked about your Final Four?
No, I've got. I think I have. The weird thing. I think I got chalk all the way through. I've got Gonzaga, Michigan, Baylor, and Illinois. And I tried not to.
I know.
I was looking at some things, and then I got Gonzaga beating Illinois in the final.
That's the final I have.
My wife actually, speaking of hers last night, she's got Oklahoma State in the finals.
It's a trendy pick. I mean,
knocking off Illinois. I mean, they're good. They,
one of, if not the best player in the country.
Yes. It's going to be. It's been this way all year. I mean, Gonzaga has been the leader in the clubhouse from the beginning. Baylor's been right there at number 2 and kind of slipped for a minute, but came right back up. Then you've got all the Big Ten teams, that have been around there. So we're.
Don't sleep on the Hawkeyes or Buckeyes.
No.
They're 2 seeds.
I know.
They could make a move. Purdue's a 4. They could make a move.
I think the only Big Ten team I don't have winning the first round is I do have North Carolina beating Wisconsin.
I had Maryland losing to who are they playing?
Yeah, I have Maryland winning that one. The other, I got Winthrop winning their first.
That's probably the most trendy.
Got Creighton winning a couple.
That game, is that tonight? The Winthrop Villanova?
Yeah, I don't have the bracket in front of me. I should have brought it in this morning.
Well, I pulled up mine online.
Well, I had one in here in the studio just to look at too, because I've got a million things going on here.
I know, you're busy over there.
I know, we got an interview coming up too. I just confirmed, so we're going to talk with head coach Scott Mary from Hudson Wrestling.
There's a couple synonyms, Hudson and wrestling.
Yes. So honestly, we should probably take a break so that way we can get into Scooter.
I do want to talk about U of M later in the show.
Oh yes.
As you know,
yes.
They're going to play a game. Talk about the Adrian Tecumseh High School game.
Yep.
Coming up tonight. Jeff, you want to get some NASCAR in there?
Yes. A little college wrestling if we have time.
That's right.
It was fun. I watched a little bit of that last night too. I was going between basketball and wrestling. It was fun. Okay, we'll be back right after this here at 96.5 The Cave, 965thecave.com.
takes his pocket and he goes and lays it in.
Hey. Welcome.
What? Okay.
I was hitting the button at stop cart. Hold on. Goodness.
Did you pick up my little JK impression?
I was picking up what you were putting down.
All right.
No.
Did you pick my pocket though? That's the key.
There you go. No, I didn't, because we don't have time for that.
Okay.
Got to talk a little wrestling this morning.
Let's do it. It's
Okay.
postseason.
It is. It is postseason time. We're going to bring in head wrestling coach for the Hudson Tigers, Mr. Scott Mary. Scooter, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks, Jeff. Good morning.
It's myself and Ian went with you here this morning, and so we got the team districts out of the way the other night. Now we got some individuals on Saturday, so you get to host those. But been a kind of a different year this year, Scoot.
It's really an accelerated year. They packed the entire season into 8 weeks. It's normally a 4-month season, so the biggest thing is keeping kids, away from the other kids in school, and not pulling a positive on your COVID test, and trying to stay injury free. You don't have any time to fix anything.
Right. The one thing I've talked with Coach Conklin last week and Coach Rowland as well, and and both those guys have mentioned something, and with you as well, I know it's how important it is, but I think the biggest thing about this year missing out on is the county tournament.
Yeah, everybody missed that thing. We'll get back next year. It did stink though, because it's a good little way to, show off the kids and the talent here in Illinois County, and it's such a strong county to speak of anyway.
Yeah, it's a nice spotlight night for you, for the wrestling community, and I think that's the good thing about it is, your best are all there in one place, and so everybody gets a chance to look at them and see them shine in the spotlight.
We'll be back next year, but I'm 100% sure this stuff is starting to fix itself, and we'll be all right.
Well, I got my first shot yesterday for the vaccine, and I know a lot of other people were at the fairgrounds as well. I think that's part of it. More and more people are going to be getting vaccinated and just kind of getting on the right way, so more people can do a few more things.
Yep, you got it. I can see it happening.
So, good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
So going back to you mentioned an 8-week shortened season. I can't imagine your kids, really cared that much. Of course, they want to wrestle as much as they can, but, at certain points, it seemed like the season wouldn't happen. So I'm sure they're taking every match, with 100% enthusiasm and just happy to be there.
Yeah, they're kids, so every now and then you got to remind them, saying, there's a week left of the season. Don't think like you've got another month, because normally even when districts hit, they spread it out around 3.5, 4 weeks. It takes a while to get through the individuals and teams, and when that's not the case, we're going to wrestle, our regional finals, and then 4 days later, wrestle quarters, semis, and state finals. So the team stuff is really packed in there. It's going to be a testament to kids and their conditioning,
Yeah, that is going to be that, and especially when you look at after that, when you're individuals, if you lose early and have to chase your way back, you're going to wrestle. You could wrestle 5 or 6 matches in one day.
Yeah, I don't know. See, MHSAA has some rules that I don't know if they're going to break their own rules, just amend the rules for this year or what. But we have a 5-match rule per day. So if you run that 16-man bracket out, and a kid loses first round, he has to wrestle 6 times to play. So I don't know how they're going to do that yet. They haven't really communicated that with us yet, but that could be a problem at the end with the individual state tournament.
Yeah, that could be something somebody maybe didn't think all the way through on that end of it.
I thought I heard some things, Jeff, about half days, but it's not on the schedule. If you look at the website, it says Division 2 and Division 2 will be Friday, and Division 4 will be Saturday. So it makes it sound like those are specific days for just those divisions. But I remember back when they did it at Western Fieldhouse, where we shared the facility, and what we did is 2 half days.
Right.
So we ran half the bracket, on Friday, and then we finished the bracket on Saturday, and that made it to where you did exceed the 5 in one day. Then you could wrestle 3 and 3.
Right, right.
I don't know what they're gonna do though, I can't speak for them.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens. But again, this is a shortened year, but you know, you still got some quality matches in, and you got some quality guys on your team. You give a little shout out to a couple of those people that you really want to talk about the year they've had in this shortened time period.
Well, first off, my 3 seniors, you know, any senior that came out this year, and I said it at senior night, is a testament to how tough they are and how much they love the sport and care. You know, I had Tyler Bolenbaugh show back up at 135, 140, he's a state qualifier. I had a state champ show back up, Caden Mattel, he's at 45, 52, and then Dylan Smith, he's at 60, 71. Those guys did not have to, like, they could have gotten ready for baseball, they all do it still. Well, Caden doesn't do a spring sport, but the other 2 do a spring sport, you know. We're basically in the baseball season right now.
Right.
You know, actually, so those 3 guys I want to really mention. And of course, you know, I've got some outstanding kids. I got Bronson Mary at 130, he's a state champion, he's returning state champion. And Cam Underwood, those 2 juniors right there. Cam's at 189, 250. They're just working their butt off, you know, trying to squeeze every minute out of the season. I'm so proud of them.
So, Coach, there's certainly a culture of great wrestling here in Lenawee County. How do you sort of keep that up from a local school level? Because you're cycling through every 4 years. It's a whole new team.
I talked yesterday about it. You know, it's an ongoing process and trust in that process. I've trained some of these kids. You know, I got a little emotional. I trained Dylan Smith in his 4th. You know,
Wow.
I literally was watching him almost learn how to walk and learn how to wrestle at the same time. So it's kind of tough, you know. It kind of pulls at your heartstrings because you're saying goodbye to 11 years of working with a kid, you know, 12 years of working with a kid, and that's how we do it. We don't look at yesterday. We don't look at 5 years ago. We don't look at trying to extend streaks. We don't even believe in streaks. Like, I think they're stupid. I think records are stupid. I don't think you should keep track of that stuff. The most important stuff is how hard you're working and what you're getting done every day. You know, checking the box off and making sure you get stuff done. Just make your bed in the morning. You know, get your stuff ready to go. Early morning, be packed, ready to go. Just the organizational part of it, and that makes them to be a good citizen, a productive citizen later on in life. I mean, that's really what we're here for.
And I think there are some sports and some coaches at other schools that, you know, have to kind of, I don't want to say beg, but really push for kids to come out and play their sport. And I don't think that's the case there, Coach, you know, based on what he just said.
Well, no, they've decided, some of these kids have decided when they're in Lincoln Elementary, they decided they wanted to try wrestling, and they decided to, you know, do what's right and work their butt off that. And there are definitely no promises as far as titles go. You know, I've coached for 32 years and we've won 8 titles. It tells you that the probability 1/4. You know,
Right.
One in 4 years you might win a state title. So that's not why you do it. You do it because it's going to teach you how to be a man and teach you how to be productive.
Well, again, Coach, appreciate your time in. I know you're in class, so we thank you for doing that, and thank your students as well for not being loud while you're on the air. That's good as well. But
Got a well-behaved class this hour, that's for sure.
That's good. That's good. Well, you got individual districts this weekend, and keep going. And you know, as we said before, I know we only got a couple seconds left, but hopefully it's a nice county rematch again at some point down the line.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, we'd be real excited to get another shot at Clinton. Not that we could do much better; they're pretty damn solid. But you know, you just got to give yourself a chance. That's all we're doing. We're working our butt off and trying to make weight. You know.
There you go. All right. Thank you very much. Once again, that's head coach for Hudson Wrestling, Scott Mary. We'll be back with hour number 2 right after this here on Inside the Cave, 96.5 The Cave, and 965thecave.com. Welcome back into hour 2 here, 96.5 The Cave. Inside the Cave, Jeff Bowman, Ian Went.
What is up?
Woohoo! Hour number
Pew, pew,
2.
pew, pew, pew.
That's coming up in a second.
Oh, when do I do that?
When do you do that?
Yeah. You said that's coming up.
Yeah.
When?
Now for an Inside the Cave sports update.
Pew, pew.
See? Right
Gotcha.
there.
It was right there.
Yeah.
It's been there the whole time. I didn't even think about intergalactic space battles.
Every time I've
for the
heard that,
sports update.
I start.
Channeling your inner stormtrooper.
That's right.
Hudson hosting Clinton. I don't know where Onstead came from. They're coming up later. Boys basketball action Thursday. John Kane was out in Hudson. He had the results.
The regular season came to an end for Clinton and Hudson in LCW boys basketball action in Hudson Thursday night. Both teams placed a lot of players in the scoring column, but Clinton jumped to a 16-5 first quarter lead, and Hudson could get no closer than 5 in a 52-38 Clinton victory. Clinton was paced by Grant Stockford with 12 points, and David Campbell, the D.S. Johnson and Associates Player of the Game, with 10. Ambrose Horwath led all scores with 13 for Hudson. Final scores again was the Clinton Redskins 52, the Hudson Tigers 38. From Hudson, I'm John Kane reporting.
We will move on to Onstead. They beat Hillsdale in LCAA action, 58-51. Blissfield, they're the LCAA champs. They beat Ida 61-41. Madison over BD, 59-52. A closer game for the Creek. Sand Creek and Morenci, 57-52 for Sand Creek. Girls basketball, Madison 44, Whiteford 36, Clinton 50, Morenci 44, Napoleon 52, Addison 16, and Chelsea 73 to Manchester's 35. To the ice we go.
I got something in a minute. Celine won again. I'm going to try to find a little snippet from Celine last week that's going to blow your mind.
For girls
Yeah.
basketball?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
Threw you off for a second.
Am I good? Can I go?
Sure.
Okay. Will Adrian College women's hockey, will they keep the Slats Cup, or will they have to turn it over to St. Scholastica after AC has had it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years? Coach Sean Skelly has every intention of bringing it back to Adrian.
I like how you said we're going to take the trophy on the bus with us, and we intend to bring it home.
Yeah, she'll be strapped in. We'll throw the seatbelt around her, and hopefully we bring that trophy back home Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, whenever we get back.
Good. Take good care of her.
Yeah, we will. We'll keep her polished up.
And the captain, Brooke Shembry. She knows the competition, and she can't wait for the game.
We had a pretty good battle with them my freshman and sophomore year. I think we saw them in the Slats Cup here. We went into like a mini game, a couple overtimes, and I know Abby ended up getting like an assist a couple years ago on the game-winning goal. So I know that's always in the back of my head playing San Scholastica. They're a pretty good team, so we haven't seen them recently. I know they have a pretty good couple first lines, and then their goalie is strong and big, but she hasn't really been tested this year. They haven't been playing the best competition, so we're looking to pepper her with some shots when we get there.
I can see the smile on your face now. You can't wait, can you?
No, I'm so excited. I'm so proud of this team for making it this far, and we really came together so far at the end.
Game 1 tonight in Duluth, Minnesota. That's only an 11-hour bus ride from Adrian.
And they're doing it in 2 shifts.
Yeah. Siena Heights football. They're feeling confident after a huge win last week, their first of the year. Major improvement on the offense, I'd say. They put up 44 points. Here's their coach, Matt Cohn.
Yeah, we've got some guys in the offensive line that have really improved, so far in our first 3 games. Our center, Jeff Edwards, this will be his 3rd college football game, or just finished his 3rd college football game. He's shown just dramatic improvement from week 1 to where we are right now. Our right tackle, David Robinson, started, this will be his 4th football game coming up. He's showed just huge improvement from week 1 to week 4. So 2 guys in our offensive line, arguably the most on the field, that have really shown some huge improvement, and we look forward to that to continue here in week 4.
That's Siena Heights football this Saturday noon against Madonna. You can catch that game right here on 96.5 The Cave. Across town, Adrian College, they head north to take on Alma tomorrow. Coach Jim Deere tells us how he looks at this very short 5-game schedule.
It's a 5-game sprint for a league championship, and that's what we're playing for. And the one thing I've mentioned to a lot of people is there's a big difference between what we did in the fall and what we plan on doing in the spring. And there's a lot more urgency with our team preparing in the spring than in the fall. In the fall, we were just glad to be playing football. In the spring, there's much more of a purpose, and it's shown on the field. A lot of intensity, a lot of anger, a lot of violence. It's one of those things where you try to control it, but you don't want to take it away.
Right. That's right. Controlled violence.
Amen.
Adrian College football Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock on 103.9 WLEN, WLEN.com. I'll be there with Jay Hanna to kick off the spring season.
You'll be there.
And I'll be there. Siena Heights assistant women's basketball coach Sarah Trenko was named the WAC 2021 Assistant Coach of the Year for the NAIA division. Siena Heights women's basketball coach and AD Sue Silchbeck said, quote, her commitment and passion for Siena Heights University and the women's basketball team knows no bounds. Without her years of dedication and work, our program would not be where it is today. I can't think of anyone who deserves this honor more than her, unquote. So, very successful program continues with the accolades, this time on the coaching side of things. Congratulations to Sarah on that. NCAA tournament, Michigan. Hit the song. Alright, top seed of the East. They start their tournament run tomorrow against the 16th seed, the play-in winner, Texas Southern. Tip off at 3 on CBS. If they win, they'll take on the Tigers or the Bonaventure Bonnies. Apparently they're not the Bunnies.
Texas Southern was down.
Look, every game
They came
yesterday
back
was
from
awesome,
a
wasn't it?
30 to 20 halftime deficit to come back and win.
I mean, aside from state losing, I mean the games themselves.
Drake Wichita
were great.
State was that was a pick'em game to begin with, and that was a 1-point game with Drake 53-52.
Yeah, that was the game I dozed off. I was like, oh, Wichita State's up. I'm dog sitting. I have Archie and the other dog. I'm just sitting on the chair. I'm like, I can take a couple Z's here. Wake up. Wait, Drake's winning? What's going on?
Yes.
It's a one and done for Michigan State in the NCAA tourney. UCLA forcing overtime with Jamie Jaquez Jr. Jaime Jr. My apologies. 3-point play with 3.3 seconds left against MSU. Then they pull away in extra time for an 86-80 win at Mackey Arena. It was Aaron Henry leading the Spartans with 18 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. We'll end on a positive note. Robbie Fabry decided to score 3 goals, 1 in each period last night. The Red Wings, they beat the Dallas Stars. They only needed his 3. They win the game 3-2 on Thursday night.
All right, so get this real quick. Saline girls basketball last week. Their leading scorer, Ella Stemmer. She's gone D1, so I can't remember what school she's signed with.
Okay.
But so they were Pioneer and Saline play. They were both 10-1, tied atop the SEC. And the final of the game was 44-40. Saline beat Pioneer. The leading scorer, this Ella Stemmer, for Saline had 38 points. And Saline scored 44. So the game started off, a girl hit a free throw. Then another girl made a bucket. And then from that point on, it was all her. Until 47 seconds left in the game, another girl from Saline hit 2 free throws.
And that was it.
But everything else, so 38 of in a 44-40 game against a team that's 10-1 just like you.
Sure.
How do you, I mean, that's unbelievable. But for Pioneer, how do you not stop her? How do you not make her dish it off? I mean,
I can show you. You want to replay the game last night? That's exactly how that happens.
There you go.
It just doesn't matter.
But I just thought
It
that
doesn't matter.
was just a crazy stat to think about, though. She scores 33 of their 44, and they win 44-40.
Yeah, that's an interesting percentage.
Isn't it? That's just crazy. So, all right.
I think she deserves a round of applause.
Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah. There you go. Give me that for 40 points on a night.
I like it. I like it. And she did. There was a few of these.
Oh, baby, triple. Oh, yeah.
Just a couple. So, getting to basketball, getting to the tournament.
Yes.
We mentioned it in the first hour, the college basketball tournament bracket on 965thecave.com. You can find the link on our Facebook page, and you can find it on Twitter as well. Pretty simple. You make an account, super easy. Most of the cave dwellers have one, so you can see our bracket.
Yep, you'll be able to see how bad you're beating us.
In my case, apparently.
Yeah,
I'm off to a rough start.
You already picked MSU to win.
Yeah, well, I could change it,
You
but
can.
I still think BYU is not going to win this game. I think UCLA will beat them. But, yeah, just go in there and pick your games. You'll get entered into a grand prize pool for the national tournament, and there's a lot of cool local prizes that you could win. So get signed up. The picks must be in by noon today for the round of 64. And then, like Jeff said earlier, you can join back in at 16 teams for the Sweet 16 and the Final Four for different sorts of, brackets, bragging rights, all those types of things. So get signed up this morning on 965thecave.com.
There you go. Hey, Ivy League team, they didn't have a season.
Correct.
But they've got some people, Michigan, Mike Smith was an Ivy Leaguer. Ohio State, Seth Towns, Jordan Bruner from Alabama. So it's kind of cool. They transferred and they're still in the NCAA tournament. And usually, you get one Ivy League team, you get 3 different schools represented here.
Yeah. They almost made a full team.
Close. Yeah. All right.
Interesting.
Michigan, what do you think?
Well, this weekend is going to be walk in the park for me, for Michigan.
You think?
Yeah.
Even game 2? There's a lot of people thinking LSU, the way they played against Alabama in that SEC final.
I think they'll have their hands full with the not bunnies. I'm just going to call them the bunnies. Bonaventure. But I do have LSU winning the first game, and I got Michigan winning the second.
I do
sure
have,
LSU scores a little more, but Michigan's just been so good all year.
I do have Michigan going to Final Four. You heard Borton yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, I asked him about the expectations. Now that Livers is out, and he said, yeah, they change. Before the injury, you're thinking, yeah, this team can run the table. But now it's different. Final Four for anyone is a huge accomplishment.
Right.
But the way Michigan was playing, it was almost a given that they're going to be in the Final Four. They were a buzzsaw of a team.
But I do think that they found themselves out a little bit at the end of that Ohio State loss. That
it went on a little run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think the big thing about having him out, Livers out of the game, it's just trying to figure out rotations, minutes for guys. you know, people got to step up in a little bit different ways. You know, Brandon Johns played. He's been playing kind of as that third big coming in for maybe a team that doesn't have a real big guy, and you know, he had to come up and play a little more wing, and so you have guys that kind of have played a little bit out of position during this with Isaiah Livers out, trying to figure out the rotation and try to figure out what their roles are. You know, and I think that they're deep enough to be able to do that, but it's just making sure that they play up to their potential. You know, Wagner was not on the other night.
No.
He's got to step up and make some shots and play a really good defense.
Yes.
You know,
And he was playing good defense.
Chauncey Brown has got to make sure he's hitting some baskets. You know, Smith scored a ton at Columbia. He hasn't been needed to score this year at Michigan, really.
Mhm.
You know, a couple of key buckets here or there could be crucial for him. You know, and Hunter Dickinson's just got to be what he's been all season for the most part. There's a couple games that he's had that were down, but you know, by and large, he's been one of the best players in the country at that big position, and he's got to show it in this tournament.
Yeah, I think Hunter Dickinson will have a big game on Saturday against Texas Southern. Could be a little different story against LSU. They're certainly a little more athletic than Texas Southern is, they being LSU. You know, the 1-8 is always tough, and, you know, if you're going to get an upset early, that's typically when it is for a 1 seed.
Right.
I do have them winning that game against the Tigers, but if you look at my bracket on 965thecave.com, you'll see when I have them losing, they being Michigan. I don't think, I have a hard time thinking it'll be any different than when Brooks was out. When Brooks was out, the team lost.
Right.
Basically. It was almost a direct correlation to,
yes,
this guy's gone, they can't win. So if Livers is out, they can only out-talent teams for so long.
Right.
You know, and I think it will end before the Final Four. You know, for the Big Ten standpoint, I hope it doesn't. You know, I hope it's a all Big Ten Final Four.
Right.
But that's not going to happen in all likelihood. But yeah, this weekend it'll be a good one for Michigan. I got a feeling about it. Good one. Not a bad feeling about this. A good one for U of M. I think Dickinson will have a good game Saturday. Might be a little spread out. Maybe if Wagner does a couple more things in the second game. That'll be Monday, right?
Yes.
Is that how they're doing it?
Yep.
So that's kind of my brief take on Michigan.
Okay. Gotcha.
And, you know, I think all the points you made are valid. Mike Smith might have to score a little bit more, but he's a real good facilitator. Wagner's got to play better. I mean, he can be the best on the court or just another guy.
Right. No,
there's really not an in-between. Like,
that's
his
very
average
true.
is either he's doing 25 a game
Yep.
or he's scoring 6.
Yeah.
So they might need the 25-point Wagner.
That would be good to have the 25-point Wagner.
Yeah, Michigan, it's more fun for Michigan when there's the 25-point Wagner.
Yeah.
Or any Wagner. Mo Wagner was fun too.
Mo was good.
When he had 25 points.
Yes, he was. Did you see recently ESPN showed a highlight, or like just a little promo thing, and they had a picture of Mo, and it was, you know, like coming up with Franz Wagner, and it had Mo on it. Like, oops.
Oh, they had the wrong B-roll for the little promo?
Yes, they did.
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh.
Right name, wrong guy.
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't good there. So, hey, we've got a little, we want to talk a little wrestling coming up. Some Lions. They've had a lot of big moves.
Do you want to grade the Lions' moves?
Yeah, we can do a little grading.
All right. Go back to school for a few minutes?
Yeah, we can do that.
It's early in the morning. Might as well be in school.
Why not? Why not? All right, well, let's take a time out so we can come back and go to school, do a little grading,
your
as
abacus
you
out.
say. Yes. Try to get it all figured out right here. Inside the Cave, 965 The Cave, 965thecave.com. Jeff Bowman, Ian Wendt will be back right after these. And welcome back inside the cave. Jeff Bowman, Ian Went.
Friday morning.
Woohoo!
Inside the cave.
That's right. March Madness too starts today.
That's right.
Those things last night
I'm done being mad.
They don't count.
Well,
Can MSU still? Can they say their
yes.
streak?
Yes.
How?
Because they were in the tournament. Didn't you hear the music, Jeff? They played the music. Da 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 da. That means you're in the tournament.
You just played it. We're not in the tournament.
That's what you think. Then the walls fall down, and it's like, oh my gosh, we're on the court.
So the 64 teams are today.
Yes.
Was Michigan Michigan State one of the 64 teams?
The tournament isn't 64.
What are those games called? The play-in games.
Right.
To play into the tournament.
To play into round one.
To me, you know what those games are like?
What?
Like game 163. Remember when the Tigers were tied and to play that one game to get into the playoffs? Those games last night were like game 163. You're not there yet.
You are.
You are not.
Yes.
I don't agree with it.
Didn't you watch the selection show? Were they selecting for pre-March Madness? Were they selecting for the pre-NCAA tournament?
Yeah,
it's the field of 68 teams.
They're selecting.
They expanded the field,
games.
Jeff. I know it's been a few years, and you remember back in the day when it was only a 12-team playoff, and
no, I don't remember.
Everyone wore shorts, but yeah, it was.
I do remember. I think 32, but
yeah, they've expanded it in the last 11 years to 68 teams instead of 64.
All right. The only way I will give them.
So Drake's win.
Credit.
They won for the first time in 50 years.
Let me finish my statement.
It's a tournament win.
Bring it down.
I can't believe we were going to talk free agency.
Bring it down.
And then you're like, well, those 8 teams didn't make it into the tournament.
Actually, I'll give MSU and Drake a little bit of credit because those were 11 seeds going in as 11 seeds. Now, if you're the 16th,
you're the 67th and 68th team.
Right.
Yeah.
But it does kind of stink though when you're going in as an 11 seed, which means there's 5 seeds behind you. And
that didn't have to.
That you
play
could,
an extra game.
That you could be one of those guys.
Yeah.
Well, why can't I be a 12 seed? Why can't I be a 14?
Why am I good enough to be an 11, but not good enough to be in the first round?
Yeah. See, that makes you think a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. It's time to go to school.
Grade some free agents.
Yes.
For Detroit. I want to start with with a trade that went official and a couple of re-signings.
Okay.
Jared Goff. Trade went through. You probably cried and wept with your family with the Matthew Stafford video, and it became official. Stafford to the Rams, Goff, and several draft picks to the Lions. How do you grade that?
An A.
Me too.
Because whether Goff comes or not, you still got draft capital, and you've got some assets, you got things that you need as a team.
I mean, 2 firsts and a third.
Yes. No, that's a great move.
If we are we giving pluses or minuses? Are we doing that, or is A the best?
We'll just go straight up letters.
Straight up letters? Yeah, it's an A. I mean, you have a quarterback that's won more playoff games than Matthew Stafford. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's young. He needed a change of pace, and I think he'll get it here in Detroit. So I like that. Romeo Okwara re-signed. He's going to play with his younger brother, Julian.
Hopefully.
Yes.
They can stay healthy.
I know. Maybe not at the same time, but that last name will be on the jersey on the field for the Lions. What do you grade that signing?
I'll give that a solid B, because he's a guy that could have franchised. It could have gave him more money, but they didn't, and I don't think that they wanted to. they were going to let him walk, knowing he's a good player, but not somebody we need to take big cap hit on, and somebody we need to worry about, franchising and doing all that with. So, but with his brother being here and kind of getting a hometown family discount, they were able to re-sign him at a pretty good deal. So I like how they made that work for them.
Yeah, I like your grade. I was between an A and a B. Production is up. It was up last year. Had some pretty good numbers. But it could be a locker room signing as well.
Mm-hmm.
All the indication is, he likes being in Detroit, wants to, have a career here, and you like to hear that.
Right.
A lot of people don't say that.
No.
About Detroit.
No.
At least the Lions. So that was a good one. I give that I'll agree with a B. One more re-signing. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, linebacker, can kind of play outside a little bit. What do you think about that?
I mean, I'm going to go just a C with that because I think it could have gone either way. I mean, if they did re-sign him, I'm okay. They re-signed him, I'm okay. I mean, it's kind of, to me, I'm just down the middle of that one. Just,
it's like a signing.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it was like, okay. I mean, the thing I like about it, I guess, is it's a guy that wants to be here.
True.
I'll give that side of it. Maybe we're not doing pluses, but that would be a plus of that.
Like a C plus.
Yeah. Just because of the fact that he's a guy that wanted to stick around.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins likes that. You like that?
You like that?
The Lions making a trade for defensive lineman from the Rams, Michael Brockers.
That's a great pickup right there. I give that an A. For two reasons. One, he's a 30-year-old guy that's been around a little bit, but he's not on, the total downside yet. McVay and the Rams talked about what an integral part he was to the locker room and to the players, and that he's a great guy. I mean, I could see him coming in and getting a captaincy already, just because of the kind of guy he is from what the Rams were saying. So that's part A of being the A. The second part of that is
A.
We got him for a 7th-round pick in 2023 is all we had to give up. Because it was a salary dump for the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to let him go. I mean, I think it was one of those, we helped you out. Here, we'll give you a 7th round in a few years. You can do something with it, whatever you want.
So they take Goff's contract and then a Brockers contract.
Yeah.
And they're getting good players.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not Aaron Donald. He's
no, and
not
it's going to be interesting.
He's not all world.
It will be interesting
to see
a
solid pick.
How he plays without Aaron Donald being next to him.
Yes. I mean, that's a young defensive line. You think Penasini will get better?
Right,
He showed flashes.
Mm-hmm.
So those two could be a force in the middle.
Yep.
Could be. Going to free agency. Jamal Williams.
Great pickup.
Backup running back for the Packers. Now probably the backup for the Lions.
I think that, what did I hear the other day? One of the cool things, he's got 122 passes in 4 years, 70 in the last 2 seasons. So there's a guy that can come out of the backfield and do that. He definitely can block. The other thing that I read somewhere was that out of the 4 years he was in Green Bay, I think his yardage, 2 of those would have actually led the Lions, and he was a backup.
Like season rushing
yes.
totals?
His totals as a backup in Green Bay would have led the Lions.
Cool. Yeah, it's a good signing. And that brings up the question of Adrian Peterson and Kerryon Johnson. Johnson's had some injuries. AP is old.
Yep.
How are those going to go?
I think they'll let AP walk for sure. Kerryon, I think they may give him another shot, but we'll see. It might be Kerryon, my wayward son. He might just.
There'll be peace.
When you are done,
yeah,
he's going away.
Just lay your weary knees to rest.
That's right.
I mean, he's a guy that has to be careful because he's had leg problems, right?
Yeah.
Dan Campbell's coming in. He's got to protect his kneecaps.
That's right.
So it might be in his best interest to get away from the kneecap man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, great signing.
Yeah,
good,
I like it.
Good to have a pass catching back.
Yep.
With experience to go with Swift, who, except against the Bears, catches passes
Yep.
out of the backfield.
Well, they had two signings yesterday. One a 1 year, $3.5 million deal with Rashad Perriman, the son of Brett Perriman. He comes over from the Jets, Jets. So he goes from the Jets to the Lions. That's a come up there, actually.
A little bit.
Most times you go to Detroit, people are like, "You went to Detroit?" And you're like, "Yeah, but I'm leaving the Jets."
Yeah, I was getting out of that
Mhm.
over there.
So
My quarterback is throwing a ghost over here.
right. So that's not a bad pickup. I mean, we're not sure what he's going to do, but it's cheap. His dad played here, so
You were telling me when he played here.
Yeah.
When did you say you played here?
What was it? 90.
You were surprised that I didn't really know him?
96.
Yeah. I wasn't really a fan of football then. I was a fan of pacifiers and watching TV mindlessly and doing other stuff that super young children do.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
But that's not a bad. That's just.
So if you have to grade it.
I'll give it a B minus. I don't even know we're not doing minus.
Oh, come on, now we're doing minuses.
I
almost
again-
done with this thing, and you're throwing in a minus for this one. Okay.
It's just a guy you can grab. I mean, you have to fill the
I
roster.
like the
out.
value.
Yeah, exactly.
No Kenny Galladay.
Right.
Marvin Jones, is he?
I think the Marv signed somewhere, didn't he?
He did.
I think I read that.
Okay.
Let me see.
I have one more free agency thing to grade.
The kicker.
Yeah, with Matthew Prater retiring to Arizona. He's still playing football, but he'll be with the Cardinals, kicking balls in domes still. Lions signed Randy Bullock.
I liked it. I mean, I've always liked Prater, but last year was probably his worst year
Mhm.
as a Lion. So you can definitely see where maybe he's on the downslide.
Yeah, I saw it too, and I'm trying to remember who I did the show with, but we talked about, might have been JR, notable free agents for Detroit. Like, do we want them back, and would the team want them back? And, the consensus, I think, was, at least for me, Prater's missing kicks that he normally makes.
Right.
I mean, he's missing extra points.
Yep.
He was starting to cost the Lions some games.
Yes.
And I think it's good for him to get a new scenery change, and without Matt Stafford there, maybe a locker room type thing. But yeah, I like the Bullock pick. We'll see. Just kick the ball between the things, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. So Marvin Jones did sign with Jacksonville.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, at least he went to a winner, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And we did pick up a backup quarterback.
Oh, you want to grade a backup quarterback signing?
Tim Boyle. Well, as good as these grades we've been given, I think some of the better grades are actually who we let go too, and some of the salaries we let go.
Yeah. Is Bullock an A? Can you give a kicker an A rating?
No, we gotta go B.
Okay. I like that.
Okay.
Go B with that one.
Just because I don't know, we can give a kicker.
Yeah. So who walked? Galladay didn't re-sign, did not franchise.
But they got rid of Coleman, they got rid of Trufant, they got rid of Jesse James, they just got rid of Danny Shelton.
They're shedding that cap.
They got rid of Chase Daniels.
Was a $10 million backup or
Yeah.
whatever we were paying
Right.
him.
So, I mean, I think that's as good as what we're bringing in and the value of some of these. I think it's just as good as what we're letting get away. Say, look, these were bad signings. We don't need you as part of our team anymore. You do not fit. Your value is not here. You're not worth the money we're paying. We'll get rid of you and we'll bring in somebody else. And so,
Like a backup quarterback salary can pay for 3 decent defenders,
Right.
or an extra lineman.
oh
or
no,
something
and
like
yeah,
that.
I mean, they brought in, the new tight end Hill from New Orleans was a good pickup. So there's a few other ones out there that they've done a good job with. I think so far in Homes We Trust.
Yeah. Honestly, I know everyone has expectations and hype in the off season, but so far it's looking like a bunch of wins for Detroit.
Oh, we got rid of Jared Davis. He walked too.
Yes. People think he'll do well somewhere.
Well, he may. I think
And-
that I don't think he was used properly here.
No. It didn't look like it
No.
on film.
Mm-mm.
So-
All right, let's take a time out. Come back. There's a few other things we'd like to talk about a little bit.
There's a
college
basketball
wrestling.
game tonight
Oh, there is.
locally.
Yeah.
There's a bunch in the tournament, but there's a certain game locally that has a lot of implications and some bragging rights to go
Right.
around.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too when we get back. Right here, 96.5 The Cave, 965thecave.com. Inside the Cave, Jeff and Ian.
picks his pocket and he goes and lays it in.
It's good.
You're going to get a lot of that tonight. Should be
Right.
a fun one. I mean, you just heard the promo.
Yeah.
Tune in.
John Kane on the call for the Maples versus the Tecumseh Indians. So we shall see.
What are you looking at?
Tecumseh got the big win the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised some people because Tecumseh had been not playing as well. Clint and Adrian was a little, at the moment, thought, hey, this would be pretty good for them. But Tecumseh's dropped a couple in a row. So that's a little...
I mean, for me, it's going to be cliched in saying it, but throw all the records out when they play each other. It doesn't matter. I don't think. The records, I mean, you're right. Tecumseh on paper should have lost the first game.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
But they didn't.
Can they do it again? Sure.
Yeah, they
Will
could.
they?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because now you got the revenge factor for the Maples on top of a rivalry.
Right.
You know, in football, you get to play them once. Basketball, you get the rematch in season.
Right, exactly, which is key.
Interesting dynamic.
Yep.
Are they, I know they have the districts out. They're not in the same
No.
district. Okay.
No.
That's what I thought. Wanted to confirm.
Confirmed. So this game's at Tecumseh tonight. So
7 p.m. Pre-game a little earlier than that, so tune in. John Kane will be there on the Cave.
on the Cave. It'll be right here on 96.5 The Cave.
And if you're out of the listening area for your, your radio, just jump over to the website. It is streamed there, 965thecave.com. So do you have the Maples in this game tonight?
Yeah.
I
think Tecumseh's struggling a little. I mean, again, the young guys have been playing all year long. I think they might be hitting a little bit of a wall. They're not used to as much breakneck pace as what the SEC gives you, and so it's a little bit of a marathon, and they've been playing a lot back to back more than a normal season, so it's a little different.
Yeah, and Adrian's coming off a couple losses as well.
Right.
You said Tecumseh was, and the Maples have played one of the upper echelon teams, Dexter.
They played them tougher the other night.
57-42, and Ipsy Arbor Prep, 53-36. Their last win was the 12th against Jackson, 58-53. They lost a close one to Pinckney the game before that, 56-54.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about too, because Pinckney was one of the top teams in the league, and they've lost a couple, but that was a good game for that.
Yes, looking at the overall standings according to MHSAA.com, Adrian is 7-9 overall, 2-7 in the SEC. Tecumseh 5-8, they're 1-6 in the SEC, but their win, as we mentioned, was over Adrian.
For sure. Yay. So
But
make
yeah,
sure-
I think the
tune
Maples
in.
get the split.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's going to be a great one. They always are.
Yeah. Oh, I know. They're always fun. Get this. New thing came out yesterday. NFL TV deal. Amazon's now getting Thursday night games, but the NFL will nearly double its media revenue to more than $10 billion a season with new rights agreements announced Thursday, including a deal with Amazon Prime Video that gives the streaming service exclusive rights to Thursday night football beginning in 2022. Exclusive.
So you can watch the Jaguars and the Texans exclusively
on Prime,
on Amazon Prime. All those awesome Thursday night games, right? Who doesn't remember that one classic Thursday night game where that other team played that one team?
And it was close.
Yeah.
For a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thursday night games have been pretty bad.
Yeah.
The league took in $5.9 billion a year in its current contracts. Amazon partnered with the league to stream Thursday night games. It'll take over the entire package. Games will continue to air on CBS, Fox, NBC, and ESPN, while ABC will have a limited schedule of games as well as returning to the Super Bowl rotation, 2 games for the first time since the 05 season. And I did see, too, where at some point coming up towards the end of the year, they're going to actually be able to flex some Monday night games.
Oh, please. Because there were some that's like,
Yeah,
okay.
right.
I think it was the Bengals and Steelers last year, and I was like, or 2 years ago, and I'm like, why is this on TV?
Yeah.
You know, I get it in the preseason or the off season. You go, oh, this could be a good one. Nope. Or everyone thought the Jets would be good, so they scheduled the Jets.
Right.
I like that. I like that they do the flex on Sunday night. That makes for great games. Really
Yes.
good TV, and it's more flexibility with the teams. I get that, but you want quality football in prime time.
Right. Yep.
That's what it boils down to, and it's money.
It
TV
is.
spending all this money to get these games on. I think they want a little option, and they're certainly paying for it.
Yes, they are. As I mentioned earlier, too, it is the National Championship Wrestling going on this weekend. There's some stuff going on today, and then tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock is the final. So if you want to watch that instead of the NCAA basketball tournament, you can. I'm recording it actually. I love this. The one thing about it, so first of all, right now team scores, well, Penn State has been crazily winning them the last few years. Cale Sanderson, who's the head coach, who was from Iowa State, coached there. He's a guy, 3-time wrestler of the year in college, 4-time champ, 159-0 in college in 4 years.
That's pretty good. You couldn't get that 160th match in there?
Isn't that ridiculous, though?
That is insane.
But
never lose.
But we talk about how good wrestling is here in the state and locally. And here's why. Just this whole region. I mean, right now, Iowa is leading. Penn State's next. Minnesota's sitting in 7th. Michigan's in 8th. Minnesota's tied for 9th. I think Ohio State's 1 spot back there, too. So just the Big Ten presence is ridiculous. But we do have a couple guys. Drew Hildebrandt from Central. He's got a good shot at, and probably be in the semis, though, against Spencer Lee, who I was reading the other day from Iowa. This guy, he was 7-0 and spent a total of 13 minutes on the mat so far this year in 7 matches.
It's a pretty good percentage.
Isn't it, though?
It's a good fraction.
It is. But the cool thing about this, like, I'm looking at one, there's not as many in these quarters, but at 125, there's a guy from Utah Valley University that's up there.
Utah Valley
University. Yes. But you also get, like, Edinboro.
Sure.
They're a D1 wrestling program, and they got some really good guys that are talented to come through there. You've got Ryder, you've got Campbell University. So you have these offshoots, some really good wrestling. That's the cool thing about it is, you know, it's neat that these smaller schools can compete. Because like I talked with some of the high school coaches, if you're 145, no matter what college you go to, you wrestle a guy's 145, and
you're not wrestling a team.
Right. So that's kind of the cool thing about the college wrestling as well, is you can see some guys from some smaller schools.
A couple program scheduling notes. Just saw a tweet, Lenawee United Hockey. They play tonight against Tawas Bay, or Tawas Area Braves, 7:30 tonight. They'll be streaming that on their Facebook. Adrian College Football starts their season tomorrow, 1 o'clock on WLEN. Siena Heights back here on the Cave tomorrow at noon.
Inside the Cave Weekend Edition this Sunday from Over the Edge Sports Bar in Manchester. So tune in 11 to 1 on Sunday for that right here on 96.5 The Cave, 965thecave.com.